Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. This morning we will read from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 13, and I will begin where he left off yesterday with text number 25. But I need a book, if someone can get one. Okay, how do I do it?
You have little arrows for the next one.
Okay, simple. Sukshma Shveta Balupathe Jam Pulinerasham Dvidike Tota Shabjeno Brindavan. The fine white sand spread all over the path resembled the bank of the Yamuna, and the small gardens on both sides looked just like those in Vrindavan. Rathe chari Jagannatha korilagaman Dviparshve dekhi chale ananditaman. As Lord Jagannath rode in his car and saw the beauty on both sides, his mind was filled with pleasure. Gaura shabaratha tane koriyananda Kshane shikra chale ratha kshane chale manda. The pullers of the car were known as Gaudas, and they pulled with great pleasure. However, the car sometimes went very fast and sometimes very slow. Kshane sthira haiya rahe tani na chale Ishware chai chale na chale karo bale. Sometimes the car would stand still and not move, even though it was pulled very vigorously. The chariot therefore moved by the will of the Lord, not by the strength of any ordinary person. Tobe Mahaprabhu Shabalanya Bhaktagan Sahaste Paraila Shabe Malya Chandan. As the car stood still, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gathered all his devotees and with his own hand decorated them with flower garlands and sandalwood pulp. Paramananda Puriyara Bharati Brahmananda Shihaste Chandana Paya Badila Ananda. Paramananda Puri and Brahmananda Bharati were both personally given garlands and sandalwood pulp from the very hands of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This increased their transcendental pleasure. Advaita Acharya Ara Prabhu Nityananda Shri Hasta Sparashe Duhara Hailo Ananda. Similarly, when Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu felt the touch of the transcendental hand of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were very pleased. Kirtaniya Gane Dilamalya Chandan Sarupa Shrivasa Jaha Mukhya Dvijan. The Lord also gave garlands and sandalwood pulp to the performers of Sankirtana. The two chief performers were Sarup Damodar and Srivas Thakur. Chari Sampradai Hailo Chabisha Gayan Dwi Mardangik Hailo Ashtajan. There were altogether 4 parties of kirtan performers, comprising 24 chanters. In each party, there were also 2 mridanga players, making an additional 8 persons. Tobe Mahaprabhu mane bichara koriya, chari sampradaya dilo gayana bantiya. When the four parties were formed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after some consideration, divided the chanters. Nityananda Dvaita Haridasa Prakeshware Chari Jana Agnya Dilo Karin Nritya Karibare. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Haridas Thakur, and Vakreshwar Pandit to dance in each of the four respective parties. Prathama Sampradaye Kaila Sharupa Pradhan Ara Pancha Jana Dila Tara Paligan. Sarup Damodar was chosen as the leader of the first party and was given 5 assistants to respond to his chanting. Damodara Narayana Datta Govinda Raghava Panditara Sri Govindananda. The 5 who responded to the singing of Sarup Damodar were Damodara Pandit, Narayana, Mukunda-datta, Raghava Pandit, and Sri Govindananda. Advaitere nritya karibare agnya dilo, Srivasa pradhana ara sampradaya kailo. Advaita Acharya Prabhu was ordered to dance in the first group. The Lord then formed another group, with Srivas Thakur as the chief man. Report. In the first group, Sarup Damodar was appointed chief singer, and the responding singers were Damodara Pandit, Narayana, Govinda-datta, Raghava Pandit, and Govindananda. Sri Advaita Acharya was appointed as a dancer. The next group was formed, and the chief singer was Srivas Thakur. Gangadasa Haridasa Shriman Shubhananda Sri Rama Pandita Taha Nache Nityananda. The 5 singers who responded to the singing of Srivas Thakur were Gangadas, Haridas, Shriman, Shubhananda, and Sri Ram Pandit. Sri Nityananda Prabhu was appointed as a dancer. Vasudeva Gopinatha Murari Jahan Gai Mukunda Pradhana Kailawara Sampradai. Another group was formed consisting of Vasudev, Gopinath, and Murari. All these were responsive singers, and Mukunda was the chief singer. Shrikanta Shri Vallabha Sen Ara Duijan Haridasa Thakur Jahan Karena Nartan. Another 2 persons, Shrikanta and Vallabha Sen, joined as responsive singers. In this group, the senior Haridasa, Haridas Thakur, was the dancer. Report. In the third group, Mukunda was appointed the chief singer. This party was composed of Vasudeva, Gopinath, Murari, Shrikanta, and Vallabha Sen. The senior Haridas, Haridas Thakur, was the dancer. Govinda Ghosha Pradhana Kailara Sampradai Haridasa Vishnudasa Raghav Jahagai. The Lord formed another group, appointing Govinda Ghosh as leader. In this group, the younger Haridas, Vishnudas, and Raghava were the responding singers. Madhava Vasudeva Gosha Dvi Sohodara Nritya Karen Taha Pandita Bakreshwara. 2 brothers named Madhava Ghosh and Vasudev Ghosh also joined this group as responsive singers. Why did they join this group? Because their brother was the chief singer, Govinda Ghosh. Vakreshwar Pandit was the dancer. Kulin grame reka kirtaniya samaj tahan nritya karen Ramananda Satyaraj. There was a Sankirtan party from the village known as Kulin Gram, and Ramananda and Satyaraj were appointed the dancers in this group. Shanti Purera Charche Reka Sampradai Achyutananda nache tatha arashabhagai. There was another party that came from Shantipura and was formed by Advaita Acharya. Achyutananda was the dancer, and the rest of the men were singers. So it would seem as if Advaita Acharya had two parties, because he was, in the beginning, made one party, and now he's got his own party from Shantipura. That's not explained. Khandera sampradaya kore anyatra kirtan naraharina chetaha Sri Raghunandan. Another party was formed by the people of Khanda. These people were singing in a different place. In that group, Narahari Prabhu and Raghunandan were dancing. Jagannathe rage chari sampradaya gai dvipa she dvipa che ka sampradaya. 4 parties chanted and danced in front of Lord Jagannath, and on either side was another party, yet another was in the rear. Shata sampradaya baje chaudamada Jatra dhvani shuni Vaishnava haila pagal. There were altogether 7 parties of Sankirtana, and in each party 2 men were beating drums. Thus 14 drums were being played at once. The sound was tumultuous, and all the devotees became mad. It gets better. Vaishnavera megha ghatai haila badal Kirtananande Shababarashe Netrajal. All the Vaishnavas came together like an assembly of clouds. As the devotees chanted the holy names in great ecstasy, tears fell from their eyes like rain. Tribhuvana bhari utthe kirtaner dwani Anya Bhadyadira Dhvani Kichui na shuni. When the Sankirtana resounded, it filled the 3 worlds. Indeed, no one could hear any sounds or musical instruments other than the Sankirtana. Param Vijayate, Sri Krishna Sankirtana. Sata Thai Bhule Prabhu Hari Hari Bole Jai Jagannath Balen Hasta Juga Phuli. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wandered through all 7 groups, chanting the holy name. Hari, Hari, raising his arms, he shouted all glories to Lord Jagannath. Areka Shakti Prabhu Karila Prakash, Eka Kale Satatai Karila Bilash. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then exhibited another mystic power by performing pastimes simultaneously in all 7 groups. Shabakahe Prabhu Aten Mora Sampradai Anyathai Nahi Jara Mare Deyai. Everyone said, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is present in my group. Indeed, he does not go anywhere else. He is bestowing his mercy upon us. Keholokhite nare prabhurachinta shakti antaranga bhakta jane jana shuddha bhakti. Actually, no one could see the inconceivable potency of the Lord. Only the most confidential devotees, those in pure, unalloyed devotional service, could understand. Kirtana dekhiya Jagannatha harishita Sankirtana dekhe ratha kariya sthagita. Lord Jagannath was very much pleased by the Sankirtana, and he brought his car to a standstill just to see the performance. Pratapa rudre rahaila parama vishmai dekhita vivasha raja haila premamai. King Prataparudra was also astonished to see the Sankirtana. He became inactive and was converted to ecstatic love of Krishna. Haila Premamaya means he became full of love of Krishna. Kashi Mishra Kahe Raja Prabhura Mahima. Kashi Mishra Kahe Tomar Bhagyera Nahi Shima. When the king informed Kashi Mishra of the glories of the Lord, Kashi Mishra replied, O king, your fortune has no limit. Sarvabhauma Sange Raja Karitara Tari Arake Honahi Jane Chaitanyera Churi. The king and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya were both aware of the Lord's activities, but no one else could see the tricks of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jare tar kripa shei jani bare pare, kripa bina brahmadika jani bare nare. Only a person who has received the mercy of the Lord can understand. Without the Lord's mercy, even the demigods headed by Brahma cannot understand. Rajaratha chasheba dekhi prabhuratushtaman, Shaito prasada paila rahasya darshan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had been very satisfied to see the king accept the menial task of sweeping the street. And for this humility, the king received the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He could therefore observe the mystery of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities. Purport. The mystery of the Lord's activities is described by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Lord Jagannath was astonished to see the transcendental dancing and chanting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he stopped his car just to see the dancing. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then danced in such a mystical way that he pleased Lord Jagannath. The seer and the dancer were one and the same supreme person, but the Lord, being one and many at the same time, was exhibiting the variegatedness of his pastimes. This is the meaning behind his mysterious exhibition. By the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the king could understand how the two of them were enjoying each other's activities. Another mysterious exhibition was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's simultaneous presence in 7 groups. By the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the king could understand that also. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We have some 5 minutes to comment something. Sukshma Sheta Balupathe Pulinerasham Dvidike Tota Shab Jeno Brindavan. Back in text number 25, we had this exceedingly beautiful couplet. Sukshma, very fine, Shweta balu, white sand, pathe on the road. Pulinesham, it looked just like the bank. What bank? That he doesn't mention, but obvious. Dvidike tota, shab jeno brindavan. Because there were gardens on both sides, and you had this fine white sand on the road itself, everything looked to be just like Vrindavan. Sada Shrimad Vrindavanavasiti Lila Parajaya. We've been singing every day. The Lord enjoys his pastimes in Vrindavan. He likes to reveal his pastimes of Vrindavan. Now he's got the idea to leave Gundicha temple and go back to Vrindavan. That's what he's thinking, at least. So in this way also, Sada Shrimad Vrindavanavasiti Lila Parichaya. He's exposed himself. We've seen what his real plan is. So then, Rathet Chari Jagannatha Korilagaman, he's on this path and he's looking on both sides, and his mind is filled with ecstasy. Why is his mind filled with ecstasy? Mudabhiri nari vadanakamalasvadamhatupa. He's like a bumblebee tasting one face after another, one lotus-like face. Whose lotus faces? The gopis' lotus-like faces. But that's not so much what we see at Venice Beach. We see so many others. That has its own significance, which we'll get to in a moment, I hope. So we're not seeing the real thing. He goes on to say, we think that we're putting together this big festival, and we think that we can make the cars go, no matter how expert Prabhuji is in constructing the carts. Jagannath, he goes by his own desire. But does he really go by his own desire? Actually, who's pulling him to Vrindavan? It's the pull of his gopis, the devotees, all the Brajvasis, not just the gopis. So the Lord moves by his own desire, that's true. There's a famous story about this. Two very wealthy men from Lucknow, maybe 150 years ago, they spent their entire life savings building a new temple for Sri Radharaman in Vrindavan. That temple is still there at the end of Loi Bajar. It's called Shaji Mandir, but it's mainly a tourist attraction. They bought marble from Italy. They purchased chandeliers from France. They spared no expense. They spent their whole life savings on this temple with the hope that Radharaman would move into that temple. And when it came time for Radharaman to go, he decided not to do it. He didn't go. Imagine if we put all this headache that we're preparing for the Rath Yatra, and then Jagannath decides that he's not going. So it's actually like that. He can go if he wants, he will not go if he doesn't want. And the cars can move and they can stop according to his desire. So the devotees have real pull here. It's described by Srila Prabhupada in the 9th canto, one excellent purport. He writes, "The Supreme Personality of Godhead is self-sufficient, but to enjoy his transcendental bliss, he requires the cooperation of his devotees. In Vrindavan, for example, although Lord Krishna is full in himself, he wants the cooperation of his devotees, like the cowherd boys and the gopis, to increase his transcendental bliss. Such pure devotees, who can increase the pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are certainly most dear to him." That's the beginning of Prabhupada's purport. Now, we see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after worshiping especially the senior devotees, who are very dear to him, he's giving them sandal pulp and he's giving them garlands. We see that then what does he start doing? He starts organizing. This is text, I don't know, they're not numbered here. I think it's maybe 34 or so. Organization means cooperation. Somebody had noted this very nice point the other day, that this whole organized effort in Rath Yatra requires so much cooperation. Even when you go back to Godhead, even among the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we see that the cooperation is required. Sometimes the scholars, mundaners, they say that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was too deeply absorbed in ecstasy, he didn't have time to organize his own sampradaya. That was left to the Goswamis, who wrote all of his books for him. But actually, that's not what we're reading right now in Chaitanya Charitamrita. We're seeing very clearly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was himself organizing the Sankirtana activity. So 7 parties led by Advaita, Nityananda, Haridas Thakur, Vakreshwar Pandit, the residents of Kulingram headed by Satyaraj and Ramananda Bhattacharya, Shantipura devotees headed by Achyutananda and Advaita Acharya, Khanda devotees like Narahari Raghunandan, all 7 groups. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dancing in each of these 7 groups. Now the very beautiful metaphor is given here that because the sound of the kirtan was like thunder, therefore what has to follow when you hear big rumbling thunderclouds? You expect to see what? Rain. Tumultuous rain. Thunder and pouring rain. So this is exactly what happened. It's described here. Vaishnavera megha gatai hailo badal kirtanananda shab barashe netrajal. All the Vaishnavas came together like an assembly of clouds as the devotees chanted the holy names in great ecstasy. Then the rain came out of their eyes. This is the point. Srinivasa Acharya has stated that these devotees, we know from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur as well, they're like mercy clouds, samsara davana lalihaloka, and they're pouring rain on this burnt world, especially in Southern California. We know nobody's doing any yajna, so Agni takes as much as he likes every summer in the form of wildfires, and sometimes they're not wildfires. They're set by people who have been driven crazy by the process of sense gratification in the material world. But anyway, Southern California burns regularly every summer. It's a great problem. One time I was at my mother's house and the whole sky was orange because the wildfires were so close. So in that kind of circumstance, the only thing that can help you is the rainwater that has been distilled by the gods and poured through the merciful rain clouds. So the devotees are doing this. Krishna is like the ocean of all wonderful qualifications, such as mercy. And his mercy is taken up by the devotees. How much water can you hold? Everyone has their capacity. And each according to his capacity, he's distributing this mercy to all those that he comes in contact with. What is that verse? Govinda Ganamritayehi. The Goswamis are showing us their benediction in the form of so many songs about Govinda. Srila Prabhupada has shown us his benediction by giving us this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The ecstasy of the great devotees of Vrindavan, which has been revealed to us by the Goswamis of Vrindavan, the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and distilled into its modern day essence by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, in the form of ISKCON. This has to be distributed by all of us, because we're all, each and every one of us is a little cloud, supposedly a little cloud of mercy, meant to be an agent of the Supreme Lord's compassion. In the end of this narration, we've described, Srila Prabhupada has described in his purport, this miraculous event of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. 2 aspects. He's not only one is he dancing in all the 7 groups, but number 2, although he himself is the Supreme Lord, he is also reciprocating as a devotee with the Supreme Lord. Both of these things are inconceivable. But King Prataprudra could understand. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also got it. He understood. How did they understand? It's been stated. By mercy only. This is the only way. The Katha Upanishad states, Nayamatma pravachanena labhyo namedhayana bhutha yameva isha vrinate tena labhyas tashyeva atma vrinate tunam swam. Only somebody who is chosen by the Lord gets a book. Only somebody who is chosen gets this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Only somebody who is chosen by the Lord will respond in a positive way. But we also have a choice, which is to present that mercy. And the rest is up to Krishna. So in Rath Yatra, we have this great opportunity to act in exactly the same way that the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are acting here. When we become enlivened by the rumbling thunder clouds of Prema Sankirtana, and hopefully the tears will also flow from our eyes at some point in the course of our Krishna consciousness, then we have to distribute it as well, just like these rain clouds are benedicting the entire world. So the thing that really, the mula, it's described in Brihad Bhagavatamritam, or the mother of humility is prema trishna, thirst. It's like chatak birds are very thirsty for these raindrops that are coming from the clouds. That's the only thing they'll accept, and as a matter of fact, you can give them anything else, but they won't take it. So devotees become like that. And so therefore, dainya, if there's any way to really precipitate the Lord's mercy, it's this attitude of humility. That's what's stated, humility. So what is the definition of humility? Asadhana ashakta buddhi. This is given in the Brihad Bhagavatamritam. A person who feels himself to be exceptionally incapable. Exceptionally incapable. Not just incapable, but extraordinarily. Above and beyond the normal. One should feel himself that incapable. And at the same time, because this can apply to anybody who actually is incapable, he qualifies that the person has to be nonetheless full of all good qualifications. So these two things together, that is considered to be dainya, or humility. And this is actually non-different from pure love of Godhead, this dainya. This is stated in the Brihad Bhagavatamritam as well. So those who are eager for prema, they are therefore eager for mercy, and the manifestation of their dainya, or their humility, is that they follow the instructions of the spiritual master to distribute Krishna consciousness to all the living entities who are parched in the burning fire of material existence, with the merciful rain of Srila Prabhupada's instructions in the form of his books and in the form of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I have to stop here, but if there's maybe one question, we can take a comment. Brigupati Prabhu.
So, you were talking about how you have to be chosen. So yesterday, Jai Chaitanya and I were downtown on a street corner, and this guy and his girlfriend come walking across the street, and he sees the sign, meditation books. And he goes, oh, from a distance we could see he was going, oh, meditation books. And even before, when he got about as close as you were to me, he says, do you have the Bhagavad Gita? And we go, yeah, sure, here's Bhagavad Gita. And he goes, wow, that's amazing. And I said, well, what's up? And he says, well, I was meditating, and this word came into my mind, Bhagavad Gita. And I said, what the heck is that? He didn't even know what the Bhagavad Gita was. Because that was his response when it came, Bhagavad Gita, what the heck is that? So he said, I Googled it, and I found it was a spiritual book about meditation. So I decided I had to get it. And that was 2 days ago, and here you guys are. So, he was chosen.
Param Vijaya. But my point is different. My point is that you were out there to act as the agent. Otherwise, how is it going to happen? This is the point. Thank you. Anything else? Yes, Prabhuji.
You mentioned devotees are like these mercy clouds, and you mentioned that each one has a different capacity. What are the elements to increase the capacity?
Well, we can look at capacity in two ways. We can look at constitutional capacity, and we can look at conditional capacity. By our constitution, each of us has a particular relationship with Krishna, and our capacity is relative to that relationship with the Lord. That's eternally fixed. That's not something that can or should be changed. But most of us are not fully awakened to that. Most of us have so many conditionings, and therefore the principle of humility is very important for us, especially because humility means, another definition of humility means to be aware of one's shortcomings. I mean, this is an absolute definition of humility. Even despite being fully qualified, we feel ourselves to be exceptionally unqualified. But that consciousness is very good. We should always be seeking to refine our devotional service and trying to, that will increase our capacity. The more we undergo the process of anartha vritti, then the closer we come to manifesting our full potential. That's the process of Krishna consciousness, and if there's anything that can really jumpstart that endeavor, it's good association. Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana katha, etc. Okay? Yeah. Okay.
Regarding good association, this has been brought up in our van. I mean, we're a bunch of neophytes trying to distribute books in a TSKP van. And sometimes we wonder, should we be giving classes or should we just hear advanced devotees giving classes, like a recording or something? Which would be more effective?
Well, who's an advanced devotee? I mean,
some guru put on a guru.
Srila Prabhupada instituted this program that we all give class, even though we're not necessarily advanced yet, but we move into that position. You put on the uniform, and the uniform will tell you what to do. This is an analogy that's been given. This is an ad they had for military induction at some point, and this is the point. We act like devotees. That's sadhana bhakti. The principle is we fake it until we make it, so to speak. We act like devotees, and then gradually we become qualified. Okay? All right, so we'll stop there. Thank you very much. All glory to Srila Prabhupada.